I don't know if y'all heard about this, but let me pull it up. So if you didn't hear about this, you're hearing about it now. If you didn't know, the girl Glow, has been arrested. Yes, the girl Glow has been arrested. Glorilla has been arrested, right? So let me run down what happened here real quick. Uh, she was arrested out in Atlanta, Georgia, for felony drug possession earlier today. So, her lawyers are mad, and what you call it, they saying it ain't fair because she wasn't even home. But hold on, let me give y'all the mug shot. Let's do this correct. This girl got bad luck, boy. I'm telling you. Every time I look up, she getting some type of legal trouble. So what happened was Glorilla's house was broken into this weekend. By the time the cops arrived, the suspects were gone. But investigators say they encountered weed in their search for the burglars. And the rapper was then charged with felony drug possession. Let me say something, right? Real quick. For you inexperienced people when it comes to the police, right? If you call the police, right? If you get robbed, somebody robbed your house, I don't care what it is for, right? If you call the police and you know the police is coming, hide your weed, hide your drugs, hide anything that's illegal. Do not leave anything in plain sight. So when the police come in, they start harassing your butt for something you called them for, and then they start. You know how the police are, especially the jealous ass police. That you got that you got a nice house or anything like that, right? Don't leave stuff in plain sight. You know you call the police and they coming over there. Don't Weed is not legal in Georgia, right? Don't leave nothing in the open. You know police is nosy. They are nosy, bro. They gonna come in there looking for something they ain't even supposed to look for, right? So what happened here is they come because somebody robbed the house for some jewelry, and they thinking she out of town, not knowing that somebody was still at her house. But this is why y'all need to stop bringing ratchet ass people to your house and thinking everybody's your goddamn friend. And you know what I'm saying? And as soon as you go away or they know you got a show somewhere, they kicking in your goddamn door trying to rob your house. You know what I'm saying? So her house was broken into this weekend. By the time the cops arrived, the suspects were gone. But investigators say they encountered weed in a search for the burglars. And the rapper was then charged with felony drug possession. The fourth county sheriff's office tells uh, the news that deputies responded to a report of a burglary in progress Saturday around 1:30 a.m. at a residence in the Atlanta suburbs. The sheriff's office says three suspects entered the house when an armed occupant fired at the intruders. Glorilla was not home at the time of the burglary, the sheriff's office said. Three suspects fled. No injuries has been reported in the incident. The sheriff's office said Glow's attorney say jewelry was stolen. Once again, if they stole her jewelry, that means it's one of her girlfriends or one of her dudes knew where the jewelry was for them to come in the house and get it and get out of there. And somebody was busting at them, right? So the deputies executed a search of the area with K9 teams and the drone unit. Detectives also responded to the scene, and deputies reportedly detected a strong odor consistent with the illegal narcotics, which would be weed. So these fools called the police, know they was in there burning. Instead of before they call it, they probably was panicking and whatever because the dudes came and tried to rob it. Instead of spraying up the house, cleaning up everything, making sure, knowing the police is coming, right? Probably so nervous and scared because somebody robbed the house or whatever. They not thinking, right? Instead of spraying up the house, making sure everything is neat and clean, refreshed, you know the police is coming in. You know the police is nosy, and you know the police be hating, right? They come in, they smell weed. Once they start smelling weed, they forget about the niggas that got away. Now they want to see what you got in there, right? They detected a strong odor consistent with illegal narcotics. According to the sheriff's office, a drug task force was now summoned, and a search warrant was secured for the house. Ain't that so? A significant amount of marijuana was discovered in plain view and then in the closet of the master bedroom, deputy said. Glow was later charged with felony possession of marijuana and the possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance. She turned herself in voluntarily into the county jail on Tuesday and was released the same day on bail for $22,260. Possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance. Let's see what that is. That might just be some pills or something. Schedule 1 drugs are substances that the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration has classified as having a high potential for abuse, no currently accepted medical use, and the treatment in the United States. Heroin, cocaine, LSD, ecstasy, peyo, and mescaline. Well, they stated marijuana is one as well, but so it was marijuana and one of these other ones, either heroin, cocaine, LSD, ecstasy, peyote, and mescaline. If I would have to guess, I would say allegedly probably ecstasy, possibly allegedly cocaine. I don't know if she looked like the cocaine type to me. Ecstasy, probably, allegedly. But we'll see once the full police report come out. Now, a lawyer say that the arrest of Gloria Woods, that's her government name, is a disturbing window into how warped law enforcement priorities have become. Miss Woods was out of town when her residence became a target for a group of home invaders who most likely knew she wasn't there. What they didn't know was that she had family staying with her that were traumatized by the violent entrance of the group who grabbed high value jewelry before taking off once they realized the home wasn't vacant. When her family members did the right thing and called law enforcement, instead of investigating the violent home invasion and theft at Miss Wood's home, they instead sought out a search warrant when they spotted what they believed was a small amount of marijuana. Law enforcement then sought an arrest warrant for for her, even though she hadn't been home for some time. No arrest warrants have been issued for the violent home invaders. Miss Woods is a victim, not a suspect. This is our tax dollars at work. Absolutely unbelievable, saying her lawyers. But of course they're gonna arrest her. That's her house. Because I'm sure once they I'm sure once the DEA got there and they searched and they found that weed in whatever level one drugs was in there or schedule one controlled substance they found, they was like, that ain't mine. That ain't mine. We just home sitting. They probably threw her right under the bus. This is her house. Which even if it was someone else's weed, I think they found like a pound of weed in the closet allegedly, right? In the master bedroom, which would be her bedroom. Um, it don't matter, it's her house. So it don't matter if 10 people was in there and the police came in there. It's her house. So she's going to get arrested anyway, unless the stuff was on somebody's person and they ran up in there and they searched people and they found it on a person, and then she probably wouldn't get charged. But at the end of the day, that's your place. The weed is in your house, the drugs is in your house. That goes that goes on you, shorty. That go on you, shawty. Shawty, that was good. That's in your house, shawty. You going to jail, shawty. And that you can see that her mug shot, shawty. You know what I mean? She going to jail, right? But she ain't gonna do no time for that. Um, it is a felony drug possession because of the amount that they found. But you go to court, that get dropped down. She might get a fine. Hopefully, she ain't got no other charges. You know, because if she got any other charges, that's gonna tack on, and she be alright, yachty. But shout out to Glow. I like Glow. Hopefully, This would just cost us some legal money. You know what I mean? Shawty, you don't need to have all that type of weed in your house, Shawty. Keep it a little personal, Shawty, in case something happen like that again, Shawty. Keep a misdemeanor amount in your house, Shawty. You know what I mean? But I don't know what to say. Glow. Get him, Glow. But that's that when it come to Glow.